जय श्री कृष्ण, जय जलाराम, जय सियाराम। आज श्री जलाराम मंदिर ग्रीनफील्ड में वैशाख मास में આપણે બધા આનંદ માટે ભેગા થયા છીએ। વૈશાખનો આનંદ જ્ઞાનની પ્રાપ્તિ કરાવતો હોય છે અને જલારામ બાપાના સાનિધ્યમાં બાપાએ માત્ર ભૂખ્યાને રોટલો ને તરસ્યાને પાણી નથી આપ્યું, પણ બાપાએ પોતાની જગ્યામાં ખૂબ સત્સંગ પણ કર્યો છે। ભોજન, ભજન અને સત્સંગ આ ત્રણ શ્રેષ્ઠ છે બાપાની જગ્યામાં। આજે શ્રી હનુમાન ચાલીસા અને આખી હનુમાન ચાલીસા સમજીએ તો ઘણા બધા પ્રવચનોની માળા કરવી પડે, પણ એમાં હનુમાનજી માટે જે કાંઈ શબ્દો ઉપયોગ થયા છે એ કેટલા રાઈટ છે અને એક્ઝેક્ટ હનુમાનજી સિવાય એમાં કોઈ ચરિત્ર ફિટ નથી થતું એવી વાતો આપણે સાંભળીશું। પણ આ હનુમાન ચાલીસાના રચયિતા શ્રી તુલસીદાસજી મહારાજ, જેને રામચરિત માનસ અંતર્ગત ઘણું બધું જ્ઞાન પીરસ્યું છે, રાગ રાગિણી સહિત। અસિતિ વંદના છે। અસિતિ વંદના એટલે 80મા વર્ષે માણસનો અનુભવનો નિચોડ અને એનો રામ પ્રત્યેનો ભાવ। સચ્ચિદાનંદજી મહારાજ કહે છે કે વાલ્મીકીનું રામાયણ છે એ રામને ભગવાન પ્રૂવ કરે છે, પણ તુલસીદાસ એ રામને ભગવાન માનીને જ લખે છે। એટલે એવા રામચંદ્રજીના સાનિધ્યમાં, જલારામ બાપાના ઈષ્ટદેવના સાનિધ્યમાં આજનો સત્સંગ છે। તો શ્રી જલારામ મંદિર ગ્રીનફીલ્ડ તેમજ સમસ્ત બોર્ડ ઓફ ટ્રસ્ટી વતી શ્રી પ્રિયાજી આપનું ખૂબ ખૂબ હાર્દિક અભિવંદન। અને આવા પ્રવચનોની માળા સતત બાપાના સાનિધ્યમાં સૌ થવી જોઈએ, કારણ કે જ્ઞાન રૂપી અગ્નિથી જ મનુષ્ય પોતાના કર્મોને બાળી શકે છે, વિવેક કરી શકે છે, સત્યને શોધી શકે છે। તો એવું જ્ઞાન આજે આપણે પ્રાપ્ત કરીશું। એ પહેલાં હનુમાન ચાલીસાનો પાઠ, જેને જેને ફાવતો હોય બધા પ્લીઝ સાથે જોડાજો। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारे बरनौ रघुवर बिमल जस जोदायक फल चारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीश तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बलधामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवारो सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कालन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा बिराजे, कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जलावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरत सहस्र बदन तुम रोजस गावे। अस कहीं श्रीपति कंठ लगावे, सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीषा। नारद सारद सहित अहिंसा, जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते। कभी कोविद कही सके कहाते, तुम उपकार सुग्रीवन कीना। ममिलाए राजपद दीना, तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना। लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना, जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु। लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल, प्रभु मुद्रिका मिली मुख माहि। जल दिलांगी गए अचरज नाही, दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते। सुगम अनुग्रह तुम रे। राम दुआरे तुम रखवाले, हो तन आज्ञा बिन पैसारे। सब सुख लगे तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। अपना तेज समारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाँकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुन। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमंत बीरा। संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन कर्म वचन ध्यान जो लाभ। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों युग पर ताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवाले, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुमरे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुमरो भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुपति पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त। और देवता चित्तन धरिए, हनुमंत से ईश्वर सुख करिए। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमंत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख होय। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजे नाथ हृदय महाडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरण, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसौ सुरभूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय शरणम। ખૂબ ખૂબ આભાર સર્વે બધા સાથે જોડાયા. હું વિનંતી કરું પૂજ્ય શ્રી પ્રિયાજીને કે આજનો સત્સંગનો દોર હવે એમના હાથે છે.
Hari Om and Jai Jalaram, everyone. We're very, very happy to see so many of you here today. We welcome you, and of course we congratulate everyone at Chinmaya Mission for their 75th anniversary. I can only say personally, I have so much respect for Chinmaya Mission. I have had the privilege of being involved on a very small scale very recently. I attended a few classes at LBS last year. I also went to the Make It Happen camp with Swamiji in Russell Kaimer last November, and I was at the Kirti for the Hanumanji celebrations last month. And I think it's absolutely wonderful, the teachings of Vedanta. We're so happy that we're doing this today. It feels like just yesterday we welcomed Swamiji, and to have Sri Priyaji with us today is an absolute honor. And we're also very excited to say that, given our strong relationship with Chinmaya Mission, we will soon be introducing self-unfoldment classes here on a Tuesday. We're going to start the classes on Tuesday, the 23rd of June, which for us is a very special day because it's the 7th anniversary of the new mandir that was built. And in an attempt to bring knowledge into the mandir, I think I heard once that a mandir should be a place for worship, for community, and for education. And I think for many years we've concentrated on worship and community, and we're very happy that now we will be making an attempt to bringing education into the mandir. And who better to affiliate ourselves with than Chinmaya Mission. So we encourage as many of you to join the classes. We will be taking registration after this for anyone who is interested. It's going to be every Tuesday from 8 till 9 p.m. So welcome everyone, and we're very excited to hear what Sri Priyaji has to say. Thank you very much.
Hari Om, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Jalaram. Thank you so much for having us here today. We'll just start with the invocation. Sahana vavatu, sahano bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Samasta jana kalyane niratam karunamayam. Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vame Tu Janakatmaja Purato Marutiryasya Tam Vande Raghunandanam Atulita Baladhamam Hemashailabhadeham Danujavana Krashanam Jnaninaamagraganyam Sakala Guna Nidhanam Vanaranamadhisham Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatam Namami. There's a very famous saying, as you think, so you become. Whatever it is that we keep thinking about, that we keep our mind connected to, that thing or idea or person, it finds its way into our mind and it starts to shape who we are. And if we see the truth of this, then we start to recognize that we, at the same time, must be very careful of what we think about. Because if we become what we think, and we are not careful with our thoughts, then very often we end up becoming the exact thing that we don't want to become. How many of us, when we're growing up, especially when we're teenagers, the one thing which we keep saying to our parents is, I am never going to be like you. And then fast forward some 20 years, and exactly who have you become like? Exactly like that mother or father who you said, I'm never going to be like you. And then you have your own children and you start bringing them up. And you find, oops, that's who I've become. So we have to be careful what we think about. And at the same time, our mind entertains hundreds of thousands of thoughts in a day. Too many to count. From the moment we wake up in the morning until the moment when we finally fall asleep, thousands of thoughts run through our mind. So with those thousands of thoughts, how do we find a way to be careful? Because they just keep coming, whether we want them to or not, one thought after another, they will keep coming. So Bhagwan and all our gurus, they're very compassionate. They knew that we need help sometimes in directing our mind and in keeping our mind on positive things. And therefore, we have such a rich tradition of so many different prayers, so many different shlokas and chants, even lots of different chalisas, which when we sing, even without knowing the meaning, our mind is uplifted. And among those, one of the most beloved prayers in all of the Hindu tradition is the Hanuman Chalisa. Whatever mandir you belong to, whatever tradition, whatever branch of Hinduism, everybody loves Hanumanji. Hanumanji is universally approved, universally loved by all. Whether you go to north, south, east, west, whether you ask Shaivites or Vaishnavites, whomever you ask, Hanumanji is loved. And even when we read the story of the Ramayana, everybody in the Ramayana, even Sri Ram and Sita Mata, they all are subject to some criticism. Their behavior is called into question by someone or the other. We all like what we do and what we say to be accepted, right? No, we don't want people to question us generally. We want people to just be happy with what we're doing and how we're doing it. But when we see that even Sri Ram and Sita ji were questioned, then we know that for ordinary people as well, it's very hard to live a life that is completely free from blemish. Because whatever you do in life, the truth is that somebody will have something to say about it. Whether it's good or bad, someone will have some opinion, some thought. To the extent that even Sri Ram, Maryada Purushottam, who is the embodiment of Dharma, who did everything right, and still now people have questions, why did he do this? Sita ji, who is the embodiment of purity, and at that time people had questions, why did she do that? But there is one figure who is never questioned. There is one character whose choices are approved by everyone. And that one character is Hanumanji. And so if we want to be above criticism, and if we want to be accepted, and if we want to be like Hanumanji was, keeping in mind that as you think, so you become, the Hanuman Chalisa is one of the greatest gifts that each of us has in our life. Because by singing the Hanuman Chalisa, and not only singing, but while we are singing, by remembering Hanumanji, we become like him. And we gain all the things that he gained in life. So this Hanuman Chalisa is, even though we love to sing, Hanuman Chalisa is even more powerful when we understand what does it mean. So what does the Hanuman Chalisa mean? So there are 40 verses plus 4 extra dohas. And in 1 hour, if we try and explain all of that, then it won't be possible. You all will still be here into the evening. And even though tomorrow is not a working day, I know you all want to go home, eventually. Right? You don't want to stay here the whole night. So what we'll try and do is we'll just see some key insights from the Hanuman Chalisa. Now the first thing is, who is Hanumanji? Who is this figure that we are praying to? So Hanumanji is, number one, described as actually Raghuvara. In the very beginning of the Hanuman, how does Hanuman Chalisa start? Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nijamana Mukura Sudhari Baruno Raghuvara Bimala Jasa Jodayaka Phalachari. Tulsidas ji says that before I even begin, I bow down and take the dust of the lotus feet of my Guru to cleanse my mind, so that I can describe the fame, the pure glory of Raghuvara. Raghuvara means the best among all the Raghus. So the best among all the Raghus is, who is that? Who is Raghuvara usually? Sri Ram. But Hanuman Chalisa is about Hanumanji. So at the very outset, Tulsidas ji lets us in on a secret. What is that secret? That actually Hanumanji is Sri Ram's. He belongs to Sri Ram. And therefore, he is known as Raghuvara. And this is the first secret of Hanumanji's success. When we are known in life, not for our own name, but when we are known in life for the one whom we serve, then life is successful. When we are known, not just because we have done great things in life, not when we are recognized on our own merit, but we become known because we have dedicated our whole lives to a noble cause, to a divine cause. And that is what people remember when they look at us. Then we know life has been a success. So what Hanumanji shows us is, in life the most important thing is, who do we serve? Do you serve someone in your life? Do you serve anyone? Do you live in service? So parents live in service to children. Children live in service to no one. Children live for themselves. No, children also live for parents. Who do we serve? This is a very important question in life. Because it's not possible for us to live and not serve anything. The truth is, we all live in service to something. But when we think about who or what we are serving in life, then we have the opportunity to serve something noble. But until we think about whom we are serving, the truth is most of us are serving our own interests, or we are serving wealth, or we are serving fame, respect, because that is what we live our lives in pursuit of. What do most people live for? What do you live for? If you live to work, and when you do your work, what do you get? Your salary. Then really speaking, what are you living for? Your salary. You're living for money. And does that money care about you? That money cares that it's coming into your bank account as opposed to someone else's? Money doesn't care. We live our whole lives thinking about accumulating wealth. That wealth doesn't care where it goes. As demonstrated by recent history also, that wealth doesn't care. When we live to become famous, we live as servants of fame. But fame doesn't care where it goes. When we live to be respected, that respect is very fickle. What Hanumanji shows us is who is worth serving in life. The only one who is worth serving is Sri Ram. The only altar at which we can offer our entire lives and everything that we do and everything that we are, that is only Sri Ram. And we come to recognize this as we become maturer, as we grow through life. We start to recognize that unless we find something to serve, our whole life will pass us by. And then one day when we retire, we wake up one morning and we think, actually, what was that all for? So this is the first thing. Whom are we serving in life? And when we're young, we feel that actually there is no need to serve anyone or anything. I can just live for myself. Life will be very good. Because I need to take care of myself. Everybody has this. I can't take credit for this, okay? I heard it from someone else. But nowadays everybody has MBA. Right? We all think we're so smart. We can manage, we can do everything in life. What is MBA? Mane badhu aure. I know everything. Huh? What Hanumanji shows us is real smartness is knowing that the greatest dignity in life is to serve. And therefore he is known as Raghuvara. He is known by Ram's name and not by his own name. So Barano Raghuvara Bimala Jasu Jodayaka Phalachari, which gives all 4 fruits in life. Why are we praying? Why are we singing this Hanuman Chalisa? Because Buddhihina Tanujanike Sumiro Pavana Kumar. Because I know that by myself, I don't have what it takes. I don't have the right thinking. I'm still very much preoccupied just with my own body and life. And therefore, Sumiro Bhavana Kumar. Therefore, I remember Hanumanji. And the most important things to ask for when praying, Bala Buddhi Vidya Dehumohi Harahu Kale Savikar. Tulsidas ji says, I pray for 3 things. Bala, strength, Buddhi, intelligence, and Vidya, knowledge, wisdom. So Bhagwan, please give me these things. Now when you ask for something, you have to give something in return. Right? There is no such thing as a free lunch. So when you ask for something, when we ask for Bala, Buddhi, Vidya, then what do we give in return? So we can only give what's ours. And what do we have? We have only Kalesh. That is what we have in life. Kalesh. Kalesh means all our suffering, all our ignorance, all our desires, our likes and our dislikes. That's what we've manufactured for ourselves in life. So he says, I'll give you that. So on the one hand, I'm giving my ignorance, my desires, my likes and my dislikes. And on the other hand, I'm asking for strength, wisdom, knowledge, intelligence. Now, in whose eyes is this a fair deal? The business community, some of you are in the business community, right? You should know what is a good deal and what's not a good deal. This is a fair deal. Bhagwan, I'll give you all my ignorance and all the things I don't want. And you give me Bala, Buddhi, Vidya. If somebody offered you that, would you say yes? You say you keep it to yourself. I don't want that. Bhagwan says, whatever you want to give me, you give. I will give you. I will give you whatever you ask for. Why? Because that is just Hanumanji's nature. Who is he? So Hanumanji is, first thing, what is he described as? Jai Hanumana Jnana Guna Sagar. He is an ocean of all virtues. He is an ocean of all virtues and all knowledge. And the most important virtue out of all, there is only one. Because even if we have all virtues, all knowledge, but we don't have this one virtue, then everything that we have, it doesn't mean anything. What is the one virtue without which everything else is meaningless? One virtue which cannot be missed in life is humility. We can have everything else. We can have all the knowledge in the world. We can have all other virtues. But if we don't have humility, none of it counts. What is humility? So there are lots of nice sayings about humility. Our Guruji says, humility is a funny thing. The moment you think you've got it, you've lost it. Because if you think you've got it, then what will you? I'm a very humble person. Will a humble person say that? Humility is, this I actually heard it in a TV show. Sometimes TV shows are good to watch. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. Humility is thinking about yourself less. Humility doesn't mean to think that I am so useless and I'm not good and I'm very low and I'm the worst of the worst. That is not humility. Humility is actually just not to think about ourselves so much. In percentage terms, how many of your thoughts do you think are about yourself in a day? 95, very honest assessment. 95%. So humility means, even if I can reduce that to 85%, I've got some. Right? Just thinking about ourselves a little bit less. There are so many interesting things to think about in this world. There is so much that we don't know. There are so many wonders to be discovered. There are so many things to learn. And yet most of our thoughts are just about me, myself, and I. So Hanumanji has humility. He is the ocean of all virtues and knowledge. And he is special. How do you know that he has humility? So the very word Hanuman tells us how he is humble. Hanuman means the one who has a chin. That's actually all it means. Hanu means chin, and Man means the one who has. So that way, all of us should actually respond to the name Hanuman. Well, everyone has a chin. What does Hanuman mean? So you all know the story, right, of how Hanuman got his chin broken. Everyone knows the story? No, not everybody knows. So when Hanumanji was a child, as children do, he was one day playing, and when he finished playing, he was feeling very hungry. Children get hungry very often in a day. Right? We have to be fed very regularly. So Hanumanji was feeling hungry. And so he looked in the sky and he saw a nice, ripe fruit shining in the sky. This bright yellow color. And he thought, that looks like a mango. Because mango is the best fruit. This is not up for debate. Some people disagree, but it's a universal truth. Mango is the best fruit. So Hanumanji looked up in the sky and he saw mango. And without thinking, he jumped. And he jumped and he caught it and he swallowed it also. Now as soon as the sun disappeared, what happened? Now it's dark. And everybody panicked. This is not the time for sunset. What's happened to the sun? So everyone on earth was panicking, but also all the devatas in heaven are wondering, where's the sun gone? What's happened? And they realized that this little boy has jumped up to swallow the sun. So now when a child has done something wrong, who's the first person you go to? You have to go to parents, right? Some of you are grown also, but still it happens, right? Maybe. So they went to his father. Before they went to his father, in fact, they thought, listen, we just need a quick solution. So Indra took his thunderbolt and he threw it at this small, cute Hanuman. Now, Indra's thunderbolt is incredibly powerful. If we were struck by it, we would be just a heap of ashes in a few seconds. Indra's thunderbolt struck Hanuman, and the only thing that happened is it just glanced off his chin, and that chin broke. Now, Hanumanji's father found out. Somebody has disciplined my child without my permission. Nowadays, parents will not allow this. even grandparents cannot discipline children without parents' permission. Right? Grandparents know you have to be very careful nowadays. Sachi vaat chhe. See? You have to be very careful. So Pavan Devata got very upset. How dare you? And now not having the sun is one thing. We can still function in the dark. But if Pavan Devata stops working, how long can you survive without air? So everyone started gasping. And they went to Pavan Devata. They said, please, we can't survive. He said, you struck my son. Now all of you, and Devatas means all those who are presiding over all the forces of nature, all power, all potential in the universe, symbolized by these Devatas. He said, all of you give your powers to Hanuman. You have to bless him. So they said, okay, we have to do what he says. He's holding us hostage, basically, because we can't breathe until he starts working again. So quickly, everyone started giving their gifts to Hanumanji. And as soon as that was done, Pavan Devata started flowing again. So now what happened? Hanuman jumped up to eat the sun. And instead of getting punished, he actually got gifts. He got all the gifts of all the Devatas' powers. Because when we live life believing that we can, everything comes to us. When Hanumanji saw the sun and saw how far away it was, he didn't stop to think, oh, do you think I could reach? If I jump, do you think I'll get there? Do you think actually if I reach there, then maybe it's too big to fit in my mouth? He didn't have any of these questions. He saw it and he did it. And when we live life like that, whatever we aim for, whatever we strive for, we achieve. But what is our experience of life? At some point or another when we're growing up, someone from wherever it is, we end up hearing and internalizing the words, I can't. When we're young, these words don't exist for us. We think we can do anything. We think we can jump off buildings, and we think we can swing from trees. We think anything is possible. We want to go to space and be astronauts. We want to. Think about, what did you want to be when you were 5 years old? What did you want to be when you were 5 years old? Did you end up becoming that? Why? Because at some point or another, somebody made you question. Is that actually what you want? Do you really think that's appropriate? Should you be doing that? What Hanumanji shows us is, if we live a life believing that we can, everything is possible. And therefore he is known as Hanuman. So that is the first thing for us to imbibe. And as Hanuman, he is Ramaduta Atulita Baladhama. He is the messenger of Sri Ram, and he is the abode of all strength. Because all the strength that he has, it comes from Sri Ram. If we rely on only our own strength to live life, we have only a limited amount. When we connect to Bhagavan, the strength that we have access to is unlimited. So Ramaduta Atulita Baladhama Anjani Putra Pavanasutanama. He is the son of Anjani. Anjani means she who is pure. And Pavanasuta, the son of the wind. The wind is also, the air is also constantly serving us. Without air, none of us can survive. So that spirit of seva comes from his parents. Anjani Putra Pavanasutanama. Mahavira Bikrama Bajarangi. He is extremely courageous and strong. And kumati nivara sumatike sangi. With Hanumanji, there are never any negative thoughts. There is never any doubt or anger or fear or anxiety. He is always filled with positive thoughts. So if we want positive thoughts, then the simplest way to do it is remember Hanuman. And our mind will also be filled with positive thoughts. Kumati nivara sumatike sangi. Kanchana barana biraja subesa kanana kundala kunchita kesa. Even in his appearance, Hanumanji is beautiful. He is golden, he is shining. He has these lovely earrings. He has the thread of discipline. What is beauty? The famous phrase, right? That beauty is only skin deep. But real beauty is not skin deep. Real beauty comes from within. Real beauty comes from our personality. As physically beautiful as someone might be, if they are filled with selfishness and negative traits, then you might look at them for some time, but you don't want to talk to them. You don't want to spend time with them. You don't find any value in their company. So beauty is from within. And Hanumanji is the most beautiful. Hatha Vajra aur Dhwaja Biraje. In his hand he has the Vajra, the mace, and Dhwaja, the flag of victory. And Kandhe Munja Janeyu Saje. He has the sacred thread on his shoulder. Shankara Suvana Kesari Nandan. Hanumanji has 3 fathers. He has one mother, but 3 fathers. Who are his other fathers? So he is also an avatar of Shivji, and Kesari is his father. Kesari means lion. So he is the father of Pavan Devata who serves. He is the son of Pavan Devata who serves. He is the son of Kesari, who is courage. And he is the son of Lord Shivji, who is pure knowledge, and who is a devotee of Sri Ram. So his parentage is also very auspicious. Now you might say, okay, Hanumanji has very auspicious parentage, but what if I don't? I have very regular parents, normal parents. They're good, but they're human. But within each of us is the spark of the divine. And that is our true heritage. That is our true parentage. We are also children of the Lord. So this is Hanuman. Teja Pratapa Mahajagavandan, Vidyavana Guni Ati Chatur, Ramakaja Karibeko Atur. Hanumanji is ever ready to do the work of Sri Ram. And more than that, he is always ready to listen to the glories of Sri Ram. People can be very successful in life. They can achieve a lot. But when you start talking about someone else's successes to those people, they find it very difficult to listen to. Why? Because I want to hear about how great I am. And if you start describing someone else's glory, someone else's success to me, it becomes very difficult to listen to. You know, parents also, what they love to listen to, even more than themselves, if someone starts praising their children, have you seen how parents look? Someone starts praising their children. So happy. When they go to parents' evening at school and the teacher starts saying, oh, your child is very good, you know, a lot of potential, behaves very well. They say, keep talking. And if they start saying something else, then You don't know my child, actually. I don't think you know who you're talking about. Because whatever we identify with, we love to hear that praised. And for Hanumanji, the most important thing about who he is Sri Ram. And therefore, who he loves to hear praised is not himself, it is Sri Ram. Because his identity is Ramaduta. When he's introducing himself to people, he doesn't even say his own name. He first says, I'm the messenger of Sri Ram. When we introduce ourselves, we have our name, then all of our titles, right? Especially if people have a lot of titles that they hold. I am manager of this and CXO of this, and I am president of this and secretary of this, and I am and especially when people have done a lot of studying, and they've gone to university and they've earned degrees, then they have to make sure that you better display all of my degrees after my name on the name plaque. And people study medicine and they spend how many years in university? And then they say, you have to call me doctor. And don't call me anything else. Right? Because that's who we are. So for Hanumanji, who is he? He is Ramaduta. So okay, he's great. He's humble and he's very virtuous and he has a lot of knowledge and he's very disciplined and he always has this can-do attitude. But actually, what did Hanumanji do? What did he do in his life that is so great? So what did Hanumanji do? So Tulsidas describes, Sukshma Rupadhari Siyahi Dikhava Bikata Rupadhari Lanka Jarava Bhima Rupadhari Asura Samhare Ramachandra ki Kaja Savare. Hanumanji went to Sitaji, Hanumanji burnt Lanka, and Hanumanji destroyed all the Asuras. Now this in itself, these three are three great feats. But the way he did it is the most interesting. How did he do it? When he went to Sitaji, first when he jumped across the ocean, how did he jump? He grew to the size of a mountain and he leapt across the ocean. Now when he went to Sitaji, how did he appear? Very small, a cute small boy, small Vanara, very gentle, Sukshma Roop he took. And then when he burnt Lanka, did he keep that small, cute, small form? Then Bikata Rupadhari Lanka Jarava. Then he took this fierce, terrible form. And when he fought with the Asuras, Bhima Rupadhari Asura Samhare. Ramachandra ke Kaja Savare. Because his work was to accomplish what Sri Ram wanted, he could do whatever the situation asked of him. In other words, when we serve something higher than ourselves, we adapt to be successful in any situation. Some people are very good at managing others, right? Because then when you go to work, then you have to manage others and you have to tell everyone what to do and you have to make decisions. So they do that. And then they come home and then they start trying to manage everyone and make decisions and tell everyone what to do. Does it work? And please notice who's saying no, huh? What we are at work, if we try and be that at home, then home life will very quickly disintegrate. Let's say if you want another company to manage, then go and, I'm not your company. So we have to learn to be flexible. We have to learn where to be humble and where to be fierce. And very often, we are fierce in front of those where we should be humble. And we are humble where we should be strong. And what Hanumanji shows us is, when our purpose in life is clear, we will know exactly what to do in which situation. When it comes to being strong, we will be strong. When it comes to being humble, we will be humble. That flexibility comes when we are clear on what is our purpose in life. So Ramachandra ke kaaj savare. So one thing, the few things he did. Then laya sajivana lakhana ji aaye. When Lakshman is struck down on the battlefield and he needs this Sanjeevani herb, Hanumanji is the one who brings it. And he brings the whole mountain. Now, you know, sometimes when you hear this story, many of you will have heard it, then very often you'll hear that Hanumanji got to the Himalayas, and because time was so short and he didn't know, so he just brought the whole mountain. Now, you think Hanumanji didn't know which herb was required? You think he didn't know what was Sanjeevani? But imagine if he'd picked the Sanjeevani and got there, and then the doctor said, wrong dosage. Actually, we need a little bit more. Then he would have had to go back and come again. So not that he didn't know, he brought so that there would be enough. And when he came, Lakshman was revived, and so was Sri Ram. In the battle in Lanka, when this battle was going on, so many warriors fell. So many Vanaras, so many, on the other side also, so many fell. And Sri Ram kept fighting. But when Lakshman fell, Sri Ram also, he fell. He was devastated. And he said, I cannot go on. If Lakshman dies, that's it for me. Now Sri Ram, who is Ishvara, who is the Supreme, he is falling when his brother falls. So what kind of relationship is that? We'll say he was too attached. But there is a very beautiful symbolism here. Among these three, Sri Ram, Sita ji and Lakshman, Sri Ram represents knowledge. Sita ji represents devotion. And Lakshman represents dispassion. What is dispassion? Dispassion is what we need in order to live what we know. Detachment is what we need in order to live what we know. I'll give you a very simple example. South Asian community, that too, most of us Gujarati, right? In this room. I won't ask you to raise your hand. How many of you have diabetes? Quite a lot of people in this room probably, right? Not type 1, type 2 diabetes. Too many jalebis. How many of you, of those who have diabetes, how many of you don't eat sweets? I want to bet you that if you had had your hand up, right now there would be maybe 1 or 2 hands still up. Because everybody who has diabetes loves sweets. And even though we know it's not good for us, do we stop eating it? Do you still eat your jalebi with your gantia on your Sunday morning? 100%. If somebody gives you gulab jamun at the end of your prasad, 100% you will have that gulab jamun. Why? Because even though I know, I still want. I know it's not good, but I still want it. How many things in life we have this excuse? I know it's not good for me, but I like it, but I want it. But I can't say no. That but I like it, but I want it, that is a lack of detachment, dispassion. When that goes, then we can live what we know is right. Lakshman is the representation, the embodiment of detachment. So when he falls, then knowledge also falls. And what is required to revive detachment? What is required to bring us that strength that we can live up to what we know is true? That is satsang. And the one who brings satsang into our life is the Guru. Hanumanji plays the role of the Guru, and bringing satsang back to Lakshman, he revives him, and therefore Sri Ram is also revived. This is a very nice story. So once Narad Muni went to Bhagwan, and he said, Bhagwan, please can you help me understand what is the power of satsang? Of listening to good things, right? What is the power of listening to katha or studying Bhagavad Gita or listening to all these good things? What is the power of satsang? Being in the company of good people, noble people. So Bhagwan said, Naradji, I won't explain you, I will show you. He said, go to earth. So Narad Muni came down to earth, and as he landed on earth and he put his foot on the ground, just next to where he put his foot, there was a worm. And that worm, as soon as Narad Muni put his foot down, that worm died. So Naradji went back. He said, Bhagwan, you sent me, but you know, the effect of me going there was this worm died. So Bhagwan said, it's okay, Naradji, just go back. Okay, you still have to learn some things. So he went back. Narad Muni went back to earth. And this time, as soon as he arrived, he put his foot down and he saw one bird. And this bird looked like it had fallen on the ground. So he went to pick up this bird. As soon as his hand touched the bird died. So now he's feeling really bad. So he went back to Bhagwan. Bhagwan, I went and I touched the bird and the bird died. Bhagwan said, it's okay. You still need to learn some more things. Go back. So Narad Muni came back to earth. And this time, as soon as he arrived, lying on the ground next to him was one calf. Now Narad Muni remembers what happened with the worm and what happened with the bird. And a worm and a bird is okay, but now if a calf dies, this is very serious. But that calf looked like it was struggling. So he said, I can't help it. So he put his hands on the calf died. So he went back. And he said, Bhagwan, this is too much. The worm died. The bird died. The calf died. Bhagwan said, Narad Muni, you're not done yet. Okay, I need you to go back one more time. Said, okay. Bhagwan, I trust you. You are Bhagwan. I'll do what you say. Says, okay. So he went back. And this time, he arrived on earth. And just where he arrived, on the ground, there was one baby. Human baby. Narad Muni said, this is very dangerous. Now if I touch this baby, Baby means like a child. What's going to happen? And then at the same time he thought, no, but Bhagavan has sent me, so I should see what for. So he went to that child and he helped him up. And the child looked at him and he said, Narad Muni, you're here. He said, do I know you? Do you know me? And the boy said, yeah, because of you only I'm here. I was born as a worm. And I was going to live my whole life like that, but then I met you. And then because I met you, I was born as a bird. And then I was going to live my whole life like that, but then because I met you, I was born as a calf. And I was going to live that life, but because I met you, I was born as a human. Every time I met you, I evolved. I grew. I progressed. That is the power of Satsang. Whether we know it or not, it pushes us forward. It helps us to think. It helps us to live a life of intention, a life of purpose. Instead of just living life in default, instead of living life on autopilot mode, Satsang helps us think. And when we live a life of intention and purpose, there is always success. That is what Hanumanji brings to our life. So he brings the Sanjeevani. And when he does that, Shri Raghuvira Harashi Uralai, Bhagavan embraces him. And he says, you are as dear to me as my brother Bharat. Tuma mama priya, Bharata hi samabhai. Bharat is the most beloved brother. And Ramji says, you are as dear to me as Bharat. And everybody praises Hanuman, but all he wants to hear is the praise of Sri Ram. He is not interested in hearing his own praises. So this is what Hanumanji has done. Not only that, but Sugriv, Vibhishan, all of them are uplifted by Hanuman. When Sugriv is running away from his brother and he is living in fear, the one who helps him find his salvation who helps him find Sri Ram, helps him escape that whole situation, is Hanuman. When Vibhishan is living in Lanka, and Vibhishan says, I am living here like the soft tongue in the middle of these sharp teeth all around me. This is how my experience is. There is no one here who is my friend. And Hanumanji finds him and he says, go to Sri Ram. Sri Ram will accept you. And this is what the Guru does for us in life. The Guru connects us to Bhagwan. And that means that anyone who brings you closer to God, anyone who brings you closer to the truth, anyone who brings you closer to yourself, that person through whom those teachings come, that person is not doing their own work, they are doing the work of Bhagwan. And therefore in them we see the Lord. So Hanumanji saved Vibhishan, Hanumanji saved Sugriv. Hanumanji even saved Bharata when he was waiting for Sri Ram to come back. So much was accomplished by him. And after he accomplished it, when you do something good and somebody says, well done, you've done a really good job, then what do we say? Thank you very much. I know I've done a good job. Sometimes people say like that. Thanks, I know. I know how good I am. When Hanumanji went back to Sri Ram, and Sri Ram said, "You have found Sita and you have given her my message, and I am indebted to you for my whole life. This is a debt that I can never repay." Hanumanji falls at Sri Ram's feet and he says, "Bhagwan, I'm just doing what monkeys do. All I did was just jump from roof to roof in Lanka. And what do monkeys do? They just jump from branch to branch. That's all I did." Never taking credit, never demanding to be appreciated. And recognizing that his natural strength can be in service of the Lord. Each one of us, when we are born with some inherent potential. There is no one in this world who is useless. There is nothing in this world which is useless. But the way that we discover our potential is when we live for something other than ourselves. When we live only just to survive, just to sustain, when we live only just to enjoy, those potentials cannot be expressed. When we have an ideal and we live for that, every potential that is within us, that comes out. And then even we are surprised that I never knew I could do this. I never knew so much was possible. So Hanumanji reminds us that when we live for something more, again, anything is possible. Now we've heard about what Hanumanji's character was. We heard about what Hanumanji did for Sri Ram. But what does Hanumanji do for us? Why should we sing Hanuman Chalisa? Because at the end of the day, as much as someone tells you, this is good, this is good, this is good, our question always is, but what will I get? Always. This is our question. What will I get? So Tulsidas ji knows that we also have this question. And so many beautiful things are said. One is that when we remember Hanumanji, Durgama kaj jagate ke jete, sugama anugraha tumhare tete. That when we remember what inspires us in life, when we remember our ideal, whatever is difficult, it becomes easy. When we have something to live for, when we remember what we love, even what is very difficult, that becomes easy. And therefore, it's important for us to know, what are we living for? Hanumanji is the one who lets us in, who guides us to Sri Ram. Rama duare, tuma rakhaware, hotana agnya, binu paisare. That without Hanumanji, we cannot enter into the doorway, the gateway of Sri Ram. Nowadays, there is this new term called gatekeeping. Have you heard that? Gatekeeping. Means when you have something good and you don't allow others to enjoy it. Hanumanji is the one who is standing at the gate of Sri Ram. Not to not let anybody in, but to encourage everybody to go through. Sometimes, when we discover something nice for ourselves, we want to keep it to ourselves. We think, if I tell everybody about this, then I won't be able to enjoy it as much. Even something as simple as when you go to a nice restaurant or something, right? You think, if I tell everyone, then next time I want to come, I also won't be able to book a table. So let me not tell anyone. Or something is on sale, something that you really like. If I tell everyone it's on sale, then it will go out of stock, then I also can't buy it. Let me not tell anyone. Sometimes we have this thought. And sometimes, if we're not careful, it even comes with satsang. That I want to enjoy this satsang. And if I tell everyone, then I don't know if I'll enjoy it as much, because everyone will be there. I like my satsang to be exclusive. I like to have one-on-one satsang. So I shouldn't tell everyone. I should just go there and enjoy it myself. We like to keep things. Hanumanji likes to share. If there's something good, share it. This is such a simple principle in life. If you have something good, if you have heard of something good, if you have seen something good, share it. That is the least that we can do for the people around us, for the world around us. And share it doesn't mean that I have to make you swallow it. Share it just means share it. Hanumanji is standing at the gateway of Sri Ram to allow all of us to enter in. And this beautiful reassurance is given. Tulsidas ji says to Hanumanji that Tuma rakshaka kahu ko darna. Is there anyone in this hall who has never experienced fear in their life? Who has never been afraid? We all have fears. At some point or another, we all scared of losing something. But when we have Hanumanji with us, in other words, when we remember that God is with us, Guru is with us, there is nothing to fear. And you'll think, okay, fine, this is a very nice thing to say, but actually, why should I believe? Because of all the people in the world, of everyone who we have a relationship with in this world, is there anyone who loves us unconditionally? Can you confidently say, I have one person in my life who loves me unconditionally? No conditions. Can you say it for your parents? We like to think parental love is unconditional, but there are usually some conditions. They might be minimal, but conditions are there. Siblings, friends, partners, there are always some conditions. The one place that we receive unconditional love from is from the Guru and from God. Because these two have nothing to gain from us. There is nothing that we can give them that they will gain by. Because they are already full. They are not missing anything. They don't feel incomplete. And therefore, if we are looking for unconditional love, look to these places. Look to the Guru and look to God. And only one who gives unconditional love wishes the best for us. And therefore, we can never have anything to fear from that Bhagwan, from God. One more thing is said, which we also find very important, and that is, Bhoot pisach nikat nahi aave, Mahavir jab naam sunave. That when we remember Hanumanji, no bhoot pisach can come near us. How many of you believe in ghosts? Honestly speaking. Once one person, then everyone will put their hand up. It just takes one. Hanumanji says, nothing can touch us. Whether in this world things we can see or things that we cannot see in this world, no negative energy, no evil spirit can touch us. But more importantly, what it means is, Bhut means everything of the past, regrets of the past. And Pisach means everything that we are afraid of in the future. If we have Hanumanji's protection, none of it can affect us. And therefore, if we want security in life, if we want protection, then who to go to? Hanumanji. His fame is known across the world. And that is a good thing for us, that hopefully none of you come to the end of this satsang and say, very nice satsang, but actually who is that Hanumanji that was being spoken about? I didn't get that part. Everybody knows. Everybody knows Hanumanji. Everybody knows Hanuman Chalisa. And the most precious gift, when Hanumanji goes to Sita ji and he gives her the message, then Sita ji blesses him. And this one thing we should always know. When we do seva, we get blessings. And the one thing you will never know is what you get blessed with. You can get blessed with anything. So he goes to Sita ji and he gives the message. And Sita ji, what is said in the Chalisa? Ashta siddhi navanidhi ke data asavaradina janaki mata. She gives him the 8 siddhis and 9 types of wealth. Not only she gives him, she tells him, now if you want to give this to anyone, it's yours. It is yours to gift as you wish. And you know, when you give someone a gift, you can kind of tell from their face how they feel about it. So Sita ji gave him this boon, and he was just looking at her. Thanks, mother. What? Hanumanji, you're not happy? I've given you all Ashtasiddhis and 9 types of treasure. So she thought maybe he wants something else. So then what did she say? Rama rasayana tumhari pasa. Sada raho Raghupati ke dasa. That you always have the treasure, the nectar of Sri Ram with you, and you will always be the servant of Sri Ram. Then he smiled. Then she said, okay, very good. Now he's happy. Because the most important thing in life, the one from whom we have received everything, we have received our parents, our security, the one from whom we have received this very body itself. If we go through life ignoring him, what kind of life do we lead? If we go through life remembering the one from whom we have received everything, that is a life worth living. Sada raho Raghupati ke dasa. That is the biggest blessing anyone can ever receive in life. And therefore the final thing that Hanumanji, that Tulsidas ji prays for, is that, O Hanumanji, Pavanatanaya Sankata Harana Mangalamurati Roop Rama Lakhana Sita Sahita Hridaya Basahu Surabhup. In my life, in my heart, may I always have Sri Ram, Sitaji, Lakshman, and you. May I always have knowledge. May I always have devotion. May I always have dispassion. And most of all, may I always, always have seva. May I live a life of seva. Hridaya basahu surabhup. He says, may you be the king in my heart also. Then life is worth living. So now to conclude, we will sing Hanuman Chalisa all together. We sang at the beginning. Once more we'll sing, remembering Hanumanji, invoking his blessings on all of us. And then there will be some announcements. So please do join in with this Hanuman Chalisa.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारि वर्णौ रघुवर विमल जसु जो दायक फल चारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीसति लोक उजागर राम दूत अतुलित धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन वरण विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाहि रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बढ़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही सम भाई सहस वदन तुमरो यश गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाँ थे कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाँ थे उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीना राम मिलाहि राजपद दीना तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना युग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु लील्युताहि मधुर फल जानु प्रभु मुद्रिका मिली मुख माहि जलधि लांगी गए अचरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज समारो आपे तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नासे रोग हरे सब पीड़ा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे ध्यान जो लावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता असवर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुमरे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुमरे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख विसरावे अंत काल रघुवरपुर जाए जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाय और देवता चित्त न धरहि हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि संकट कटे मिटे सब पीड़ जो सुमिरे हनुमत गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूटई बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा कीजे नाथ हृदय महाडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरण मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय.
We'll just finish with our closing prayers and then there are some announcements. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
વાહ રે વાહ, એ હનુમાન ચાલીસાને સાંભળીને મને જરાક જોર આવી ગયો શરીરમાં. પહેલા હરિઓમ, જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ ને જય જલારામ બધાને. Bella, I want to say a big thank you that you've all come here today to listen to this Hanuman Chalisa talk and support our event. We really appreciate you being here. And talk fine or talk nay? Ah. Now, the person who you have heard speak today is not an ordinary person. She is an inspirational and dedicated person, not only for us youth, but the community as a whole. Last year, Shri Priyaji completed the full London Marathon, raising lots of money for charity. Showing us that when we put our minds to a higher goal, we can achieve anything. So I think that deserves a round of applause one more time. On behalf of Chinmay Mission, I would also like to thank the trustees and volunteers of Jalaram Mandir. Jalaram Mandir na darwaja hamesha khula che ne apane support karwa daroj tayar che, એટલે we thank you very much for all your support. To express our gratitude, I would like to invite Shri Priyaji onto the stage. And also, I'd like to invite Palkesh Bhai, Shanil Bhai Hirani, and Sailesh Bhai Chotai onto the stage. Yep. Sailesh Bhai Chotai. Wasavi gya ne badai. Let's give this collaboration a round of applause. Jalaram and Chinmay Mission. જ્યારે પણ હું અહીંયા આવું ને હું બાપાની ખીચડી રોટલા ને કઢી ખાઉં તો મને એવો સંતોષ વરે ને મારો પેટ બહુ ભરાઈ જાય. આપણો ગુરુનો બહુ એક ફાઇન કહેવત હતો, spread maximum happiness to the maximum people for the maximum amount of time. And I think Jalaram community do this by feeding and serving the needy people in the community. And Chinmay Mission achieved this by spreading the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Vedanta. હવે આપણી પાસે બહુ મોટા announcement છે. Oh, okay, I'll hand over to Shri Priyaji again.
Don't worry, you'll still hear more from Kishan. But I have one very important announcement. So, as mentioned at the beginning, this is the 75th year we're celebrating of Chinmay Mission. So, as part of that, we are sharing Hanuman Chalisa and also the Bhagavad Gita throughout this year. And with the Bhagavad Gita, 5 verses are being shared. So, all of you, I'm sure, have Bhagavad Gita at home, right? Everybody has. Some of you will have read Bhagavad Gita also. 700 verses. Some of you might have it at home and not have read it. That's also okay. To read 700 verses sometimes sounds like a lot. But for this year, our global head of Chinmay Mission, Puja Swami Swarupanandaji, and our former head, Swami Tejomayanandaji, they have selected 5 verses from the Bhagavad Gita. These 5 verses, they encapsulate the entire teaching of what is said in the Bhagavad Gita. And as Hindus, you know, if somebody comes up to us and asks us, what's your scripture? Right? Most of us, what will we say? Most of us will say Bhagavad Gita, right? And then if there is a follow-up question, by chance, okay, can you tell me one verse from the Bhagavad Gita? Most of us will struggle. So this year what we have is we are sharing these 5 verses for everybody to become familiar with, to learn, and to know for ourselves so that we can live our lives according to the teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. So what I will request all of you to do right now is take your phones out, open your camera app, and scan the QR code that is on the screen right now. That will take you to a page where you will be able to access these 5 verses, the chanting, the translation and explanation. Please visit that page, please read for yourselves, but please also share with members of the community, with members of your families. As Hindus, it is our dharma, it is our duty to know Bhagavad Gita. It is our duty to live Bhagavad Gita. And unless we know what's said in the Gita, we can't live it. So let us all learn these 5 verses. This is not just for Chinmay Mission, this is for all of us. Please do visit that page. And we'll leave it up for a couple of seconds, so those of you who need to scan still can do. And then there are some more announcements that Kishan will share.
Thank you, Shripaji. Who ye practice karo cho? Tame bada ye practice karo cho thorok. So we just have a couple of announcements to make, and they're very big announcements. Badai, please keep your phones out so you can mark these dates in your diary. So first announcement, Friday 18th and 19th of September, Puja Swami Swarupanandan, Global Head of Chinmay Mission, will be holding talks on Hanuman. The title of these talks are The Glory of Hanuman. Ama Swamiji samjause ke Hanuman Chalisa no meaning suche, and no science suche, and no power suche. At there, please badai tame aujo. And Swamiji has actually talked in this mandir before. I'm not sure if many of you know, but he has talked here before, and he's an excellent speaker. So please do come along with your friends and family. And sorry, I forgot to mention as well, this will be taking place in Swaminarayan Mandir, Stanmore, Wood Lane. That's it. Motto Mandir che, tle jagya che, chinta nahi karo. Vela aujo એટલે ખુરશી મળે ને તો નીચે ન બેસું ને. પછી બીજો એક મોટો announcement. 20th September, there will be a Hanuman Chalisa Havan. આમાં 108 હનુમાન ચાલીસા કુન કરશે ને અમે બધાય સાથે 21 હનુમાન ચાલીસા બોલશો ને આ મંદિરે દરરોજે every Saturday they have 21 Hanuman Chalisas. એટલે imagine 108 Hanuman Chalisa kuns and 21 Hanuman Chalisas. So will you come or not? Yes, thank you. Look forward to seeing you all. yes, sorry. Yes, Swaminarayan Mandir માં છે. ટાઈમ હા ટાઈમ હું જણાવીશ પછી બધું ઇન્ફોર્મેશન આવી જશે. હવે આ તો સાઉથથી મોટું અનાઉન્સમેન્ટ છે એટલે બધાય સાંભળો ધ્યાનથી. હવે ચિન્મય મિશન ગંગા આરતી રાખવાના છે. ઇન્ડિયાના ગંગામાં નહીં પણ આયા લંડન રિવર ટેમમાં રાખવાના છે. So this will take place in September as well. The location will be along the River Thames. The exact date and times will be confirmed, but there'll be a barcode at the end where you can take your phone and scan, and you'll be updated with all the information then. Next, please. So we've got these 2 courses that are running online. They are 6-week courses. We've got Introduction to Hinduism and Introduction to Vedanta. On these courses, the basic principles of Sanatan Dharma will be explained, and if there are any youth or any ages that are interested, please do come and speak to me for further information. Next slide, please. હવે બધું digital થઈ ગયું ને બધું. એટલે if you want to stay up to date with the latest events and programs that Chinmaya Mission are holding, then everyone, if you'd like to take your phones out now, and you can scan the barcode on the left just now. And all the information, and here as well, sorry. So all the information about the Ganga Aarti, the Hanuman Chalisa talks, they'll all be included in this WhatsApp channel. Please do come along. And if you're struggling to scan, then you can come and see me after and I can share the link with you. Thank you very much, everyone. Now, I think... 14th, yes, of course. So on the 14th of May, so you've heard how good Sri Priyaji is now. If you want to hear the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Priyaji will be holding a talk on the Bhagavad Gita in the Sudbury Jalaram Mandir, which will be taking place on the 14th of May. That is from 6:30 p.m. onwards. So please do join us if you'd like. Now I've also heard કે નીચે ચાય પાણી છે ને. હા. ને થોડુંક મને લાગે છે બાપાની ખીચડી ચાખશું આપણે. એટલે Kichi ne. You can all make your way down as soon as you'd like. Thank you very much.
Jai Shri Krishna, please. ખૂબ ખૂબ આભાર શ્રી ચિન્મય મિશન મંદિર શ્રી જલારામ મંદિર ગ્રીનફિલ્ડ આજે ધ્રુવભાઈ પધારે આપનું પણ ખૂબ ખૂબ અભિવાદન. મંદિર તરફથી જે કોઈ આવી રીતે સત્સંગનો કાર્યક્રમ રાખે તો મંદિર પણ કૃતજ્ઞતાના ભાવથી બાપાની પ્રસાદી રૂપી શોલ અર્પણ કરે છે. તો બોર્ડ ઓફ ટ્રસ્ટી વતી હું શિલ્પાબેન આપને વિનંતી કરું કે આપ આવો અને આ શોલ આજે જેનાથી આટલું બધું સુંદર જ્ઞાન પીરસાયું છે એવા શ્રી પ્રિયાજીને અર્પણ કરો. શ્રી જલારામ બાપાની જય, શ્રી વીરબાઈ માત की जय, श्री भो जलराम बापानी जय. સૌને જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ, જય જલારામ, જય સિયારામ. હવે આ ઇવેન્ટ આપણો પૂરો થયેલો જાહેર કરીએ છીએ. બધાને વિનંતી કે નીચેના હોલમાં પ્રસાદીનું આયોજન છે, તો પ્લીઝ બધા પ્રસાદી લેશો અને શાંતિથી. હજુ પાછું સાંજની આરતીમાં તમારે રોકાવું હોય તો પ્રસાદી પછી પાછા ઉપર આવી શકો છો. અને 6:30 પાછો વિષ્ણુ સહસ્ત્રનામનો પાઠ, ત્યાર પછી રેગ્યુલર પ્રાર્થનાઓ, 7:30 આરતીને 8 વાગે મંદિર બંધ થશે. સૌને જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ, જય જલારામ, જય સિયારામ. જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ, જય જલારામ. જે અહીંયા સામેની 4 લાઈન ચેરની છે ને, સેવા કરી શકતા હોય તો સેવા કરો. આ બધી ભેગી કરીને પાછળ મોકલાવાની છે. હમણાં જ આપણે સેવાનો મહિમા સાંભળ્યો છે, તો થોડુંક પ્રેક્ટિકલ કરી લઈએ. સેવાનું પ્રવચન સાંભળ્યું તો થોડીક આ ચેર બધી છે ને, આ સામેની જે 4 લાઈનની ચેર એ પાછળ પહોંચાડવાની છે. સેવા કરજો બાબા. હેલો, જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ, જય જલારામ, જય સિયારામ. નીચેનો હોલ છે ને કોમ્યુનિટી સેન્ટર છે, ત્યાં વાતો બહુ સારી લાગશે. તો પ્લીઝ અહીંયા પાછું તમે સાંભળેલા સત્સંગનું જ ધોવાઈ જશે બધું. પ્લીઝ તો નીચેના હોલ તરફ ગતિ કરો, ત્યાં વ્યવહારિક વાતો કરજો પ્લીઝ. સ્વાભાવિક વાત છે, લોંગ ટાઈમ પછી મળ્યા હશો, પણ પ્લીઝ